Good evening.
Wow. Welcome.
Thank you.
在腾讯吧，就是我这边要 share 屏幕。Okay. So, Heidi, welcome. So you know that but anyway, we always keep Zoom and we'll be open both. So people can join in either forum. So can we start?
Yes.
Okay. 今天是几日啊？过糊涂了。今天 Today October 19th, 2023. It's our 29th session reading Urantia book with Heidi. We are going to keep reading paper 110, Relation of Adjusters with Individual Mortals, section 3, Cooperation with Adjusters. And later we are going to read part of paper 104, Growth of the Trinity Concept. 今天是10月19日2023年，我们读第111篇《玉苒廈之书调整者与个体凡人的关系》第3部分与调整者的合作。还要读一部分第104篇三位一体观念的发展。这个都在我们群里分享了，就是大家要是看屏幕不是很清楚，可以打开自己的文件。那个两方的伙伴要是听不到啊，或者有什么问题啊，都可以在这个聊天区打给我们，或者是直接讲话就可以。好的 ，OK， Heidi。
Okay, I'm here. So let's go right to it.
Paper 110. Yeah, we completed two sections last time. So we have a 4-hour full session last time, but hopefully this time we won't do that long and keep it as 3 hours at most.
Yeah, I don't want to do so long because no one was there at the
end. So, oh yeah, and also Morningstar said she is grateful to your care about her, and she cannot get on today, but she just wanted me to convey appreciation to your care to her.
Good.
She's doing well.
Yeah, let's just keep track of her and make sure she's doing okay.
Yeah.
Not going off the deep end. Keep her in the shallow water. Okay, so we're at that's very sweet of her. We're at what did we read? What section are we on? Cooperation with the adjuster?
Yeah. 王岩，那个在 VOV 我只看到我的头像，我看不到。你把那个屏幕放大，是分享屏幕的这一部分放大。我怎么看着分享屏幕那一部分那么小？还是大家可以？对，哎，对。Okay, now it's fine.
Okay, would you mind reading a little in Chinese first so I can make my copy?
Okay, sure. 来
Okay.
来两边的伙伴，哪一个伙伴来读中文的部分？两边都可以。腾讯啊，还有 Zoom， 哪个伙伴方便？我要读那个第3部分中文的部分。
我来读一下啊。
我来读吧。
你来读啊。
省力吧，等下一篇王岩吧哈。如果王岩还行，王岩要是睡了就你那行，那要不然省力先读吧。错。
3. 与调整者的合作。调整者们一直以来都在玩着这个神圣 而又高超的游戏。他们正进行空间中时间的最高冒险之一。他们继续执行他们更大的永恒任务。当你的合作使得他们能够在你短暂的时间斗争中提供帮助时，他们是多么的高兴啊！但当你的调整者试图与你交流时，信息常常会丢失在人类心智能量流的物质流中。你只能偶尔捕捉到一种神性之声的回声，一个微弱而遥远的神性之声的回声。你的调整者能否成功地引导你走过人世，并使你得以与其说取决于你信仰的理论，不如说取决于你的决定、决心和坚定的信念。所有这些人格成长的活动都会成为帮助你进步的强大影响力，因为这些帮助你与调整者合作，帮助你停止抵抗。思想调整者在其地球使命中成功或似乎失败，恰恰与凡人在合作方面的成功或失败成正比。该策划将使他们沿着达成完美的扬升之路前进。续存的秘密是包裹在人类向往像神一样的，为了这个压倒性欲望的最终实现，去做任何必要的事，成为必要的人。Eddie, are you back?
没关系，
那我继续。
对，继续读。
谈到一个调整者的成功或失败，我们是在说人类的续存。调整者从来不会失败，他们是神性本质，他们总是在他们的每一项中获得胜利。我不由得观察，你们中的许多人在生活琐事上花费如此多的时间和思考，而几乎完全忽略了具有永恒重要性的、更为本质的现实情况，那些发展出你和你的调整者之间和谐工作协议的成就。人类存在的伟大目标是调谐到内在调整者的人性。凡人生命的伟大成就是向神性之灵的永恒目标做出真实和诚挚的奉献。这神性之灵在你心智内等待和运转，但是全心全意、坚定不移地努力实现永恒的天命和地球上一种轻松愉快的生活以及成功和体面的事业是完全兼容的。与思想调整者的合作，并不意味着自我折磨、假装虔诚或伪善和炫耀性的自我贬低。理想生活是一种充满爱的服务，而不是生活在恐慌和疑虑中，或迷茫，甚至有时感到沮丧和心烦意乱。这些并不意味着抵制内住调整者的引导。这样的态度有时可能意味着缺乏与神性告诫者的积极合作，因此可能在某种程度上延迟灵性进步。但是这种智性上的情绪困境丝毫不会干扰知晓神的灵魂的确定性续存。无知本身永远无法阻止续存，混乱的疑惑和令人恐惧的不确定性也同样无法阻止。只有有意识的抵制调整者的引导，才能阻止进化中的不朽灵魂的续存。你绝不能把与你的调整者合作看作是一个特别有意识的过程，因为它不是。但是你的动机和你的决定，你忠诚的决心和最高的渴望，确实构成了真实和有效的合作。 你可以通过以下方式有意识地增强调整者的和谐性：选择回应神的引导，真诚地将人类的生命建立在真理、美和善的最高意识之上，然后通过智慧、崇敬、忠诚和爱来协调这些神性的品质。热爱神，渴望像他那样，对神性天赋身份的真正认可，对天赋的敬爱，热爱人类，真诚地渴望为人服务，全心全意地认同人类的兄弟友谊、兄弟情谊，再加上一种对其他每个人充满一种聪慧的喜爱。就到这儿吧。
是的，今天就这一节，挺好的吧？
对，它这个续存是指的灵魂的续存。
对对，所有的这个自然下之书里边的 survival 都是灵魂的续存，几乎。开机。对，因为我在那个，我在 Zoom 这边录，所以下一次呢，读就是最好是 Zoom 这边的伙伴来读，因为从另外一个机子来的声音再录到 Zoom 有可能太低，所以请 Zoom 这边的伙伴来读。他没来，要不然王岩你再读，看能读到哪儿，他回来我们再继续。王岩在吗？其他伙伴在也行。哪个伙伴来再读一下？
读到哪里啦？我来读啊。
没有，你再从头再读。
从头读啊。好的。
题目
3调整者的合作。调整者们一直以来都在玩着。调整者们一直以来都在玩着这个神圣而又高超的游戏。他们正在进行空间中时间的最高冒险之一。他们继续执行他们更伟大永恒的任务。当你的合作使得他们能够在你短暂的时间斗争中提供帮助时，他们是多么高兴啊！但当你的调整者试图与你交流时，信息常常会丢失在人类心智能量流的物质中，你只能偶尔捕捉到一种神性之声的回声，一个微弱而遥远的神性之声的回声。你们太大了，他们这里。你的调整者，你的调整者能否成功的引导你走过人世，并使得你得以续成，这与其说取决于你信仰的理论，不如说取决于你的决定。 决心和坚定的信念。所有这些人格成长的活动都会成为帮助你进步的强大影响力，因为这些帮助你与调整者合作，帮助你停止抵抗。思想调整者在其他地球使命中成功或失败，切与还人在于此宏策或这方面的成功与失败成正比。该策划将使他们沿着达成完美的扬升之路的前进。续成的命运是包覆在人类向往要像神一样提高欲望中的，并有相关的意愿，为了这个压倒性欲望的最终实现，去做任何必要的事，成为必要的人。谈到一个调整者成功或失败，他们是在说，我们是在说人类的续成。调整者从来不会失败，他们是神圣本质，他们总是在他们的每一项任务中获得胜利。我不由得观察你们中的许多人在生活琐事上花费如此多的时间和思考，而几乎完全忽略了具有永恒重要性或更为本质的现实情况。那些发展出你和你的调整者之间和谐工作协议的成就，人类存在的伟大目标是调整者内在调整者的神性。凡人生命的伟大成就是向神性之灵的永恒目标做出真实和真挚的奉献，使神性之能在你心智内等待和运转，但是全心全意、坚定不移的努力实现永恒的天命和地球上一种轻松愉快的生活，以及成功和体面的事业是完全兼容的。与思想调整者的合作并不意味着自我折磨、假装虔诚和伪善或者炫耀性的自我屏蔽。理想生活是一种充满爱的服务，而不是生活在恐惧和疑虑中。困惑、迷茫，甚至有时感到沮丧和心烦意乱，这些并不一定意味着抵制内在调整者的引导。这样的心态有时可能意味着缺乏与神性告诫者的积极合作，因此可能在某种程度上延迟灵性进步。但是这种个性上的情绪困境丝毫不会干扰知晓神的灵魂的确定性续成。无知本身永远无法阻止续成，混乱的疑惑和令人恐惧的不确定性也同样无法阻止。只有意识的抵制调整者的引导，才能阻止进化中的不朽灵魂的续成。你绝不能把与你的调整者合作看作是一个特别有意识的过程，因为它不是。但是你的动机和你的决定，你忠诚的决心和最高的渴望，确实构成了真实和有效的合作。你可以通过以下的方式有意识的增强调整者的和谐性：选择回应神的引导，真诚地将人类的生命建立在真理、 美和善的最高意识之上，然后通过智慧、崇敬、忠诚和爱来协调这些神性的品质。执爱神，渴望他。好了，我不读了，不太方便读，小孩睡觉。
Heidi, you
I kept
logged
hearing Toby.
you logged in
I'm here.
VOV.
I kept,
Why?
you read the whole book?
Yes, we read that section 3 twice.
Twice?
Yeah, why do you log into VOV? The main conference room is in Zoom. I am recording at Zoom.
You want me to leave VOV and log into Zoom?
Yes, yeah, I'm recording there, not in VOV.
Okay, because when I logged in here, it said you were recording here.
That's the share screen. That's somebody, one fellow is sharing screen from Zoom.
Yeah. All right, but I also I saw it on my computer screen that you started recording here.
I know, but it is sharing screen. It is not actually VOV recording. I didn't recording. I didn't do record. See, I didn't press
Okay.
the record button.
Someone else did maybe. Okay, let me go into Zoom. I'm gonna see if I can get in now.
Yeah, if you are in computer, it should be. I sent you the code. You should have it. You know, that's the one
Yeah.
with the code 369369. So
Yeah, I have that one. Just waiting for it to open. Okay.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, join. Okay. Okay, and I have that.
I didn't see you.
I know because I'm having some technical problems here. I'm just having some technical problems.
If you need me to read the Zoom number, I can do it.
Is it 336-369 or 336?
No,
Is it
369. Code, right? You need code or conference number.
Meeting number.
Meeting number is 816-841-50-609.
Okay. Okay, now I need the code.
369-369.
369-369?
Yeah.
The old one, okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay,
You have to close the Woof.
right, I know. Okay, I think I'm out of the other one now.
Yeah, the voice is nice, perfect.
Good, good, good. Okay. I just thought I would stay in the other one to make sure I got into this one, but and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you read number 3, section 3, cooperation with the adjuster, right?
Yes,
Okay.
two fellows read it. So
you read it twice.
Uh-huh.
Good. Okay, we're in the paper 110, I'd like to just remind myself, relation of adjusters to individual mortals. I know you've already said that in Chinese. Relation of adjusters to individual mortals. Cooperation with the adjuster. Here we go. Adjusters are playing the sacred and superb game of the ages. They are engaged in one of the supreme adventures of time and space. And how happy they are when your cooperation permits them to lend assistance in your short struggle of time as they continue to prosecute their larger tasks of eternity. But usually when your adjuster attempts to communicate with you, the message is lost in the material currents of the energy streams of the human mind. Only occasionally do you catch an echo, a faint and distant echo of the divine voice. The success of your adjuster in the enterprise of piloting you through the mortal life and bringing about your survival depends not so much on the theories of your beliefs as upon your decisions, determinations, and steadfast faith. All these movements of personality growth become powerful influences aiding in your advancement because they help you to cooperate with the adjuster. They assist you in ceasing to resist. They assist you in ceasing to resist. Thought adjusters succeed or apparently fail in their terrestrial undertakings just insofar as mortals succeed or fail to cooperate with this scheme whereby they are to be advanced along the ascending path of perfection attainment. The secret of survival is wrapped up in the supreme human desire to be godlike and in the associated willingness to do and be any and all things which are essential to the final attainment of that overmastering desire. When we speak of an adjuster's success or failure, we are speaking in terms of human survival. Adjusters never fail. They are of the divine essence, and they always emerge triumphant in each of their undertakings.
Wait, Heidi, why don't you interpret each paragraph?
I'm going to interpret all those. I was just going to, sometimes I interpret each paragraph, sometimes I read a few and then interpret.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to interpret now, though. Adjusters are, I'm going back to the beginning. Adjusters are playing the sacred and perfect game of the ages. They are engaged in one of the supreme adventures of time and space. I love this part. And how happy they are when your cooperation permits them to lend assistance in your short struggles of time as they continue to prosecute their larger tasks of eternity. I love it when they talk about the emotions of the gods, you know, of the divine beings, because
现在正在读第一段，他说他非常的喜欢第一段。他说，当这个月亮下之书一谈到关于神的情绪的时候，他就非常高兴。Yep.
we humans have a I assume that's the same in the East as it is in the West. We have a tendency to think the gods are somehow above emotion, that they've transcended emotion, that they're always in a Buddha-like state of peace and calm, and they don't have any fluctuations of feelings. But that's not true at all. According to this book, they have strong emotions.
对，他说这东西方大概都是一样的，想到神的时候都觉得他是在我们高高在上的，超越这个人世生活的，像佛一样的啊，总是在平静和这个定静当中啊，没有这个情绪的变化，没有强烈的情绪反应。
According to this book, well, the Bible, first of all, the Bible, this book doesn't say this, but the Bible says that man was created in God's image, and this book does confirm that in every way, except not when it comes to animal fear and the petty feelings and the animal desires and the ego and all that. Those the higher beings have none of that stuff, but they do seem to have the emotions and love of the arts and humor and philosophy and all that.
圣经是提到说人是照着神的形象创造的，这个月亮下之书也非常的肯定确认这一点，就是除了神他是没有这个动物起源，像我们人类动物起源的这个恐惧啊，一些在乎小事啊，一些非常的在这个强烈的一些的肉体欲望啊，小我啦，但是呢他的确就是有情绪的，神也是有情绪的，比如说他会热爱艺术啦，有这个幽默感啦，也是有哲学的头脑啦。
I also think that when we listen to our adjuster, we shouldn't try to listen to a voice, even a voice in our mind. Sometimes you can just commune with your adjuster and you just get a thought just comes into your mind. It doesn't even sound like a voice. It's just an idea or feeling of well-being or like like a realization about your current situation. And I believe that those are the adjuster is inspiring you to think those kind of thoughts at those times.
对，当我们说到神的这个声音的时候，不是一个实际的声音，而是就是说你跟他同在的时候，就是有一种想法呀，或者产生一种意象啊，或者整体的一种这个安在的感觉啦，就是在某一种情形之下就知道要怎么样去做，怎么样去处理啦，就是这样的一些的东西，不是一个实际的声音。
And also remember that the adjusters are very well trained in communicating with humans in many, many different ways. So don't expect it to always be the same way. They can guide us and they can send us messages in many different ways. They use, when we're in different moods, we might be more receptive to different modes of different techniques that they use. It's like it might be a picture, it might be an idea, it might be we might suddenly hear an actual sentence in our mind that sounds like our own thoughts, but we realize it isn't because it's something we wouldn't have thought, something like that.
对，他就是跟我们交流，他不是就是用一种的形式来指导我们，他在我们不同的情绪状态下，有可能对不同的他的交流的技术，就是更接纳啊。那个有的时候用这个脑子当出现图像啊，或者出现一种的想法了，或者实际上脑子里会出现一个句子，我们以为是我们头脑的，但实际上来自我们的思想调整者。
And don't worry too much. Just keep your mind open and keep your mind open. Keep your mind clear of your own thoughts, and that way, the messages can come through.
对，不要担心，就是保持头脑开放哈，保持这个自己的觉察自己的每一个念头啊，这个信息就会透过来。
I don't mean all the time. I don't mean never have your own. I mean when you're in that communing mode. Ricky, do you know what I just said? But right before that, I said keep your mind free of your own thoughts, but I didn't mean all the time, 20, never think your own thoughts. I meant when you're in that mode where you're that communing with your adjuster mode, then that's when you keep your mind free of your own thoughts.
对，他就是说你就是把自己的那个想法先放到一边，然后就是处在一个跟神临在的一种状态，那样的话就是神的这个他的信息就会透过来。
The rest of the time, when you're not trying to communicate with your adjuster, you're just monitoring your thoughts. You're learning to, in a way, be your own adjuster. Because you are learning to adjust your own thoughts by monitoring them and by changing the channel. When you find yourself tuned into the fear channel or the anxiety channel or the thinking negative thoughts about other people or doubt or worry, you have to, that's when you learn to monitor those thoughts. And when you go to those channels, you just learn to change the channel to a better channel.
其他的时间呢，你还要学会监督你的想法，做你自己的想法的一个调整者哈，随时的切换频道。当你处在害怕、焦虑或者有负面的想法，然后怀疑呀，就是恐惧啊这些的状态当中的时候，你要随时切换频道。
And this is and I learned this from studying the law of attraction, not from the Urantia book. This part about monitoring your own thoughts.
这些监督你觉察你自己想法这一部分我是从学习这个吸引力法则来的，不是从思想调整者，不是从玉苅霞之书来的。
But it's very helpful. And last week we did read in the Urantia book that the adjuster cannot, it's impossible for the or extremely difficult for the adjuster to communicate with us when we're feeling anxiety and worry and negative thoughts. So what I'm saying is very closely related to what's in this book.
对，上一次我们也提到，就是当我们如果是感到焦虑啊、恐惧啊这些的状态的时候，实际上思想调整者比较困难跟我们交流。
This book tells us how difficult it makes it for our adjuster when we're thinking negative thoughts.
就是有负面的想法的时候，神是很难跟我们交流。
But Abraham, who teaches the law of attraction, teaches us how to monitor and adjust our own thoughts so that we don't have those negative thoughts. That's what I'm saying.
亚伯拉罕就是那个传导吸引力法则的那个 那个人他就是强调就是监督我们和调整我们的思想的重要性。
And on the one hand, there's an old expression that goes something like, I'm paraphrasing. Do you know what paraphrasing is, Ricky? Paraphrasing is when you don't quite know the quote exactly, you're sort of making it up and getting it close.
这就是自己造句。
So I'm paraphrasing an old saying that goes, it is easier, or maybe it's in the Urantia book actually, but the saying is, it is easier to rule the world than to rule your own mind.
那个对，他就说一个模仿一个俗语哈，是说就是摧毁这个世界都比摧毁这个世界都比摧毁你的头脑要容易。
On the other hand, the teachings of Abraham make it much easier to rule your own mind. She gives you tricks and techniques that make it much easier than you would think.
统治前面是统治这个世界，就比控制你的头脑更容易。然后亚伯拉罕就是那个传播吸引力法则的，就是教你一些的技术哈，很容易的控制你的头脑。
And it's hard. It's very hard at first. It gets easier and easier and easier because it's really a matter of habit. You build you get in the habit of monitoring your thoughts. And just when you go into the red zone, well, you don't even go into the red zone because do you know what the red zone is?
Yes.
Okay. After a while, you don't even go in the red zone because you change the channel before you even get close to that zone.
对，你在这种觉察当中呢，就是这个其实就是一个习惯的问题，你学会能够控制你的头脑里的心念哈，当你就接近那个红线，或者甚至就是刚刚要往那个方向去的时候，你就已经改变频道，然后就不会去到那个危险地区了。
If you're a very, very ambitious person and you want to achieve really great things in this life,
对，如果你是一个很有雄心壮志的人，你是想这一生有所成就的，
learn to control your thoughts.
要学习控制你的思想。
There's many great men who run huge companies and make billions of dollars and rule empires, but they can't control their thoughts.
有一些世上有一些人，好像就是大公司建立大公司啊，挣很多钱啊，好像很成功呢，但是他们还是没有办法来掌控他们的头脑。
And often, very often, when you can't control your thoughts, you can't control your words. And when you can't control your words, you can't control your actions.
那你没有办法控制想法，你就没有办法控制你只说你的讲话，你更没有办法控制你的行动。
And that's one of the reasons that so many very successful people, whether they're rock stars or successful entertainers or Wall Street tycoons, so many of them are unhappy and many of them even kill themselves. And that's because they never learned to control their thoughts and therefore they couldn't be happy. You can't be happy when you have negative thoughts. It's not possible.
那就是为什么那些的像一些的歌星啊，一些有名的娱乐专家呀，就华尔街的大款呐，那些他们就是没有办法，没有能力控制他们的头脑，所以他们就是过得很悲惨，或者是自杀的，因为对，就是 因为你没有办法控制自己的头脑想法，你就不可能有幸福可言。
So we have one goal in life, one goal only, and that's to get on the right path. And we can get on the right path by monitoring our thoughts and letting our thought adjuster guide us. No matter what we achieve, no matter how great the thing, how much money we give to charity and how many pyramids we build, none of that matters if you're on the wrong path. You need to get on the path to eternity. If you want to go to eternity, you have to get on the path to eternity. All that other stuff, that's very nice, is very impressive in our world, but it's not very impressive in you're not impressing God. You impress God when you can monitor your thoughts. That makes your thought adjuster very happy. We just read that. That makes you happy. What makes your thought adjuster happy is when you let him speak to you.
Yeah. 就是我们这一生只有一个目的，就是要走在正确的路上。这样的话呢，就是像调整才能够那个来指导我们，有效的指导我们来这个达到最终的虚存。不管我们做多少的慈善啊，建多少的金字塔呀，在世界上取得多么令人印象深刻的成就啊，但是呢，如果我们没有在正确的路上，没有学会监督我们的想法，我们是没有办法达成这个最终的这个目的的。
And one more thing I'll say on this subject, which I'm, going off on a tangent here. One more thing is that, because this is very important, and this was a mistake I made myself. One of many mistakes I've made myself.
就是我要强调一点，我自己反省我自己犯过的错误。
Is you can't, if you say, listen to yourself, you say to yourself, listen, I just have to get this job or make this amount of money or move to this city or marry this man, or if you say, I just have to achieve this amount of success, then I'm going to be a good person. Then I'm going to show God how much I love him. Then I'm going to do great things in the world and give more and be a great influence in the world. That means you're on the wrong path. You can't bargain with God. You can't delay being a good person. You can't say, if I do this, then I'll get on the right path. That success and power and money and influence, it doesn't matter how many people you think you're influencing for the good. If you're not on the right path, you're not influencing anyone for the good.
对，他就说哈，那个是这个类似倾听你自己的声音哈，那个有的时候我们会说啊，我要把这个工作拿到手，或者我一定要先搬到哪一个城市，或者我要先跟哪一个人结婚了，或者我先取得任何属世上的成就之后，我才开始要变一个好人哈，开始热爱神，开始做伟大的事业，可以给更多的给予别人。那这样的话，你就是在错误的道路上，就是你任何的你想耽搁走神的道路，总要跟这个神去讨价还价，然后以属世的成功啊、权力或者是金钱这种的得到这种方面的比较大的影响，认为这个是为了好的目的，这都是一个错误的路线。
It's very easy. It's very, excuse me. It's very easy to fool yourself, to think you're doing God's will, to think you're on the path. there's all these people and they run around talking about the light and the truth and this great spirit and one with the universe, and that doesn't mean they're on the right path just because they're talking about spiritual things, or just because they're go to church every Sunday, or just because they give a lot of money to charity. A lot of them think they're very great. They think they're really, really, a force for good, but they're lying to themselves. And that's very, very dangerous. To fool yourself is the easiest thing you can do. And it's the most dangerous thing you can do.
Dangerous, yes. 那有可能有很多人，他们实际上是撒谎的，对真理，对他们自己都是撒谎的。他们可能说的话非常的伟岸，经常就是需要与这个世界啊，与宇宙合一啊，其他的很属灵的事情，他们也去教会啊，很虔诚啊，做很多的慈善的事业啊。其他的在神眼里很伟大的事情啊，但是他们实际上在对他们自己撒谎，是非常危险的。
So the second paragraph says, the success of your adjuster in the enterprise of piloting you through mortal life and bringing about your survival, the success depends not so much on the theories of your beliefs as upon your decisions, determinations, and steadfast faith. And this is super important, because the Urantia book emphasizes how important your decisions are over and over again.
那这个是第二段吧？对，第二段就是强调的一点，就是你的决心决定的重要性。
And in this sentence, it also says it adds throughout the book. Many times it says how important your decisions are. But in this sentence, it also says how important your faith is.
对，还强调你这个信念的重要性。
And I in my own personal life, I have found that many, many times anxiety and doubt and sadness and worry, which is like anxiety, but a little different. All these things can be cured by strengthening your faith.
对，他在他个人生活当中，他认识到这个像这个出现焦虑啊、怀疑啊、悲伤啊、恐惧啊这些的，都是可以被坚定的信仰所治愈。
If your faith was so strong that you believed that everything was going to work out, everything was going to be okay, you were going to be taken care of spiritually and guided, and that everything would have a good ending if you just stayed with it and kept your faith. If you believe that's strong enough, then there's no reason to ever worry.
如果你有坚定的信仰，你就会相信一切都会最终就是会有好的结局，上天都会照顾的好好的，都会有一切都会在掌握当中，那么就不会有这些的负面的情绪。
If you believe that everything happens for a reason, that no matter how bad something seems, it ends up having a good result, something good comes of it. If you have faith that that is true, then you won't get mad when things don't work out the way you wanted them to. You won't think that people did terrible things to you. You won't think that everything's going wrong, because your faith will cure that kind of thinking.
对，那就这样，你就相信一切事情发生都有它的理由，一切都会有一个好的结果。那么，你这样的话，有这样一个坚定的信仰，你就不等事情没有照你所预判的去发生，或者有一些的所谓可怕的事情发生了，那你会相信这个，就我们中国话大概就是福兮祸所伏，祸兮福所依吧，这样的一个。
But
Yeah.
but even if your faith is very strong, the test of how much you're being guided by your faith is in the decisions you make. So every time you make a bad decision, it means you're not following your path. You're not being guided by your adjuster. And every time you make a good decision, which is usually, often it's the harder decision to make, not always, because sometimes it comes easy and natural to you to make the right decision. But sometimes the right decision can be very hard to make, and your mind will come up with all kinds of excuses why you shouldn't do it. But it's the right decision.
对，这个东西就是说，实际上哈，那个正确的决定有的时候是更难的决定。对，你的头脑会寻找各种各样的理由、借口去那个避免做这个正确的决定，因为它比较难嘛。
So when you make those decisions, that tells you, and it tells your thought adjuster, and it tells all the celestial beings, it tells you how well you're doing, how true you are to your path, to your adjuster, because every right decision brings you closer to the next right decision. Every right decision makes it a little easier to make the next right decision. And every wrong decision makes it a little harder to makes it easier to make the next wrong decision.
对，你每一个正确的决定，实际上就告诉灵界的存有，你就是你做的有多么好，因为你多么忠诚于你的正确的道路，忠诚于你的思想调整者。那么每一个正确的决定做出，就会有利于下一个正确的决定继续做出。而如果你做了错误的决定，那么下一个决定就更难回到这正确的轨道上。
It's like taking a journey and traveling the highways. Every time you make the right decision, you take the road that takes you closer to your goal. Every time you make the wrong decision, you're making a wrong turn and you're going off course. And if you make enough wrong turns, you end up completely lost.
对，就像你在高速上行驶哈，你如果总是沿着正确的路走，那就很容易到达你的目标。如果你总是拐弯拐错，那你就完全的就是那个了，就会走迷路了。
So when they say here that the success of your adjuster, it doesn't depend so much on your theories as on your beliefs and your decisions. You'll meet people who have wonderful theories, who are very smart, who can talk about all kinds of things and even maybe appear very religious. Don't ever let that fool you. You judge them by the decisions they make. Are they a good parent? Are they good to their children? Are they a good friend? Are they good to their friends? Do they betray people, or are they true to people? You know, are they good to animals? Do animals like them? These are the things you should look at, not their words. You know, if they have nice words, that's great, but the words alone don't mean anything.
那么那一句是说，就是不是取决于我们的信仰的理论，那么很多人都会显得非常的神圣，非常的那虔诚， 但是呢，那个你不能只是通过他们说的话来判断他们，你还要看他们是不是一个好的父母，好的朋友，是他们是不是总是背叛别人，他们喜欢不喜欢动物，动物喜欢不喜欢他们，那么这些往往有的时候比他们说的话也许更有说明他们的为人。
And then it says all these movements of personality growth. We're in the second paragraph, right? Then it says all these movements of personality growth become powerful influences aiding in your advancement. These influences of personality growth, aiding in your advancement because they help you to cooperate with the adjuster. So that's these making the right decisions, having strong faith helps you cooperate with the adjuster.
Where are you?
So it's the second paragraph. The second sentence begins with all of your beliefs as upon your decisions, determinations. Oh no, all these movements of personality growth become powerful influences.
对，这个第二段第二句，所有这些人格成长的活动都会成为帮助你进步的强大影响力，因为这些帮助你与调整者合作，帮助你停止抵抗。
And this is nice. This is a good reminder here. They say that, in other words, doing the right thing, making tough decisions, never doubting, never letting yourself doubt, always retaining your faith. These help you to cooperate with the adjuster.
对，那么就是就总是没有怀疑，总是保持你的信仰，对，这样就是保证了你与调整者的一个合作。
But this is nice wording, a nice reminder, because it says they assist you in ceasing to resist. So what this is saying is, it's not just that it's not just that we're not actively cooperating with our adjusters, we're actually resisting. And they're saying, stop resisting. The adjuster is already speaking to you. He's already communicating with you. You're already designed to be guided by your adjuster. So we have to, maybe we don't have to try anything. We just have to stop resisting.
他说不光不是就是说那个有意的主动的一个合作，实际上他只是要求的我们不抵抗，只要不抵抗就是跟神的一种合作，而我们更多的时候是抵抗，对，在这种抵抗的这种的状态当中，那么他很难指导我们。
So then they say this a couple sentences later, they say the secret of survival is wrapped up in the supreme human desire to be godlike and in the associated willingness to do and be any and all of the things which are essential to final attainment of that overmastering desire. This desire to be godlike, I believe it's innate. I believe we're born with it. I believe human beings naturally have it.
对，他这个第二段最后一句就是续存的秘密，就是人向往像神一样的这种的欲望，他认为是天生的。
It's the desire to be perfect, the desire to be better, the desire to keep being more than you are, to not make the same mistakes, to get wiser, to be a better person. These are all part of the same desire to be as good as God is.
对，我们渴望完美啊，渴望变得更好啊，渴望得到更多呀，变得更明智啊，成为更好的人呢，这些实际上都是希望像神一样的一个表现。
Every baby is born with the desire to love its parents and to be loved by their parents. nothing there. It's an absolute innate desire that they're born with.
那每一个婴儿他降生来人世都是希望爱他的父母，也得到他们的爱，这个是很自然的一个渴望。
And I believe that as adults, we have that same desire, but we have that same unconscious desire, but it's actually, we think it's here on this material world, we think it's a desire to love our parents and be loved by our parents, but it's really the spiritual counterpart of that desire is to know God and to love God and to be loved by God. That's, I believe that we all have that desire, but many of us don't recognize it.
我们成人以后也有同样的一个渴望，对。那我们有的时候把它归因于这个物质世界的一种渴望，但是呢，爱父母被父母所爱这样的一种渴望愿望，实际上是爱神被神所爱的这个属灵层次的一个对应，物质界的一个对应物。
You can say, I don't want to be godlike. I've never wanted to be godlike. I just want to play the piano better. I just want to be a better mother. I just want to be better with money.
那有可能你认为我从来没想着像神一样，我只是想弹琴弹得好一点啊，我只是想成为一个更好的妈妈，或者是我真想挣钱挣得多一点。
But what happens if you succeed? If you achieve those goals, what happens if you become if you learn to manage money and you become a better mother and you become a great piano player? What happens then? Do all your desires stop? Do you not want to be better at something else? Do you not want to be an even better mother or great grandmother? No, your desires always continue. Always, always, always. They never stop. So logically, if you think about it, that means you want to be godlike because they're never going to stop.
对，当你成为一个好的音乐家呢，更好的母亲呢，然后难道你就停止其他的欲望吗？你难道不想做得更好？更好，然后这样的话呢，这种不停止的变好的这种欲望，实际上就是想要跟神一样。
It's a natural human desire to want to be better and better and better and better and better. That means it's a natural human desire to want to be godlike, whether we know it or not.
对，这是自然的愿望，就是变得更好呀，更好啊，一天比一天好，就实际上也就是反映的是我们就是想要跟神一样。
And that's a wonderful thing because if we recognize that what we're really trying to do is to be godlike, not just get rich or be the president of a company or something like that. If we recognize that what we really want deep in our hearts is to be godlike, then we can work towards that because to be godlike means to be kind and good and to learn to care about others and to be generous and to be thoughtful and to listen to others, and that's what being godlike is. So we need to recognize that what we really want is to be godlike, and then we can focus on the things in our life that are more godlike.
我们认识到这一点其实是非常重要的。我们不一定就说要雄心壮志，要成为这个以公司的主管，但是呢，就是在我们心灵的深处，我们都是想要像神一样。那么我们意识到这一点，就可以真正的做像神一样的工作。那我们可以变得更仁慈啊，对人更好啊，更慷慨啊，更能够倾听他人啊。 那就是更能够发现和认出生活的中心。
Okay, I'm going to read the next paragraph. I cannot but observe that so many of you spend so much time and thought on mere trifles of living, while you, this is when this is when they start scolding us. These higher beings, they get a little they get a little annoyed with us.
那这个是第4段哈，第1句话说呢，你不由得观察你们中的许多人在生活琐事上花费如此多的时间和思考，就是有一点斥责我们的意思。
Every narcissist and egomaniac should read the Urantia book because it's very humbling.
对，那些自恋狂啊，都应该来读《玉苒下之书》，会让他们更那个谦虚一些。
Okay, I cannot but observe. Sorry, are you done?
Yep.
Okay, I cannot but observe that so many of you spend so much time and thought on mere trifles of living, while you almost wholly overlook the more essential realities of everlasting import, those very accomplishments which are concerned with the development of a more harmonious working agreement between you and your adjusters. The great goal of human existence is to attune to the divinity of the indwelling adjuster. The great achievement of mortal life is that we've just been talking about all this. The great goal of human existence is to attune to the divinity of the indwelling adjuster. The great achievement of mortal life is the attainment of a true and understanding consecration to the eternal aims of the divine spirit who waits and works within your mind. But a devoted and determined effort to realize eternal destiny is wholly compatible with a lighthearted and joyous life and with a successful and honorable career on earth. Cooperation with the thought adjuster does not entail self-torture, mock piety, or hypocritical and ostentatious self-abasement. The ideal life is one of loving service rather than an existence of fearful apprehension. So they're saying you don't have to be poor, you can be wealthy, you can be successful. You don't have to walk around, trying to act like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders.
他就说哈，你没有必要说一定要好像一副很贫穷的样子，你可以很成功啊，但是呢，你没有必要装出一副样子，说好像把所有世界的负担都扛在自己的身上，为世界人受苦。
Your thought adjuster wants you to be happy and successful and lighthearted.
你的思想调整者希望你成功啊，希望你活得轻松愉快啊。
You're not going to spread joy and happiness and help other people overcome their fears and anxieties if you're walking around pretending to be serious and godlike all the time. That's what they talk about, mock piety or hypocritical and ostentatious self-abasement. They're not talking about pretending to look very religious and very holier than thou. That's one of the mistakes that Christianity made. They painted a picture of the religious person as someone very serious and somber, and the Urantia book is saying just the opposite.
对，那么最后一句是，你看，也是思想调整者的和，并不意味着自我折磨、假装虔诚和伪善和炫耀性的自我贬低。那么这种的， 假圣徒就是实际上这个，那个基督教里边总是描画一个虔诚的信徒哈、是很严肃的啊，很庄重的，这样的一个形象。可是你这样的话，你怎么能给人带来这种的欢愉和幸福，来帮助人来克服恐惧和焦虑？这是玉书相当于就是很反对这样的一种伪善的做法。
I think Buddhism has done a little better with that than Christianity. I mean, Buddha was a happy guy, right?
No, there is one happy Buddha in Buddhism, but only that one, I guess.
You mean a certain school of Buddhism? He believes the Buddha was a happy guy and the others don't?
No, there are a lot of Buddhas. Remember but every Buddha has different personality, but there is a happy Buddha, which many people worship. But most people we all recognize Shakyamuni Buddha, which is the master and the originator of the Buddhism. But most Buddhists are also serious.
Okay, yeah,
Very self-constrained.
yeah, like the Tibetan monks, right? They're pretty serious.
Yeah， 他就问他说是不是佛教徒好一些啊，能够快乐一些啊？他说，哎，难道佛不是那个好像很高兴的那个佛吗？我就跟他说，我们只有那个弥勒佛大概是一个很高兴的样子，其他的佛呀菩萨基本上还都是比较严肃的，佛教徒也相对来讲都是比较严肃的。Yeah.
And Christianity paint the picture of Jesus as more of a serious, somber type of guy, but we will see as we read about Jesus in the Urantia book. The Urantia book paints him as a very lighthearted, fun, uplifting personality.
对，那个说基督教嘛，往往描画耶稣呢是一个很严肃啊、庄重的这么一个人，但是实际上《玉苒下之书》却给我们描画的是一个非常轻松愉快的、很有趣的，也很给人那个带来振奋的这么一个人物。
He was usually, almost always, not always, almost always in a good mood.
他几乎总是在非常好的一种情绪当中。
He was the son of God. What's not to be happy about? Why not be? If he can't be happy, no one can.
他是神之子啊，如果他不高兴，那谁能高兴呢？ We are all the sons of God. We are all should be happy.
Yes, and he showed us how. He showed us the way. He showed us the way, and that's what they're saying right here. Is like don't walk around thinking you have to be serious to be religious. That's nonsense. You can be prosperous, happy. You just have to. The ideal. It says the last sentence. The ideal life is one of loving service, rather than an existence of fearful apprehension. There's nothing to be afraid of. So why wouldn't you be, if you had no fear, why wouldn't you be happy?
对，那我就说我们都是神之子，都应该是非常轻松愉快的那个，像耶稣一样对，他是统一，然后他就说是，对，就是说渲染那个宗教徒就是那种严肃庄重的形象，其实是非常不合适的。我们可以在富足当中生活在丰盛当中幸福的生活，享受幸福的生活，而不是在恐惧和疑虑当中。
And if your faith is strong enough, you will have no fear.
如果你的这个信仰足够的强，那么你没有 肯定是没有恐惧的。
We always say to ourselves, we don't whether we know it or not, whether we're aware of it or not, we always say things to ourselves like, I'll be happy after I pay my taxes. I'll be happy after this divorce is settled. I'll be happy after my kid gets into college. I'll be happy after my house is painted. You know, whatever it is, we're always postponing our happiness. And that's crazy. You can't say, I'll be happy if this thing happens. Happiness has to do with having strong faith. Happiness is about how you feel about yourself inside. That's what happiness is. It has nothing to do with it. Okay, it has a little bit to do. I mean, if you just experienced a tsunami in your town, it's hard to walk around being happy. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 那我们在日常生活当中经常就是这样对自己说，哎呀，我要把税配了，我就高兴了，我就会幸福了啊！我把这棘手的婚姻离完了，离利索了，我就幸福了，或者我儿女都上大学了，我就幸福了啊！把这房子都粉刷了，我就幸福了。我们总是在推迟我们的幸福，这个是非常疯狂的想法。如果我们有一个常理，就是比较坚定的信念，那么就知道这个幸福是来自内在的啊，不那个以外在任何的为条件。当然，并不是说你经历了一次就是海啸，你还马上就要表达这种幸福感啊，对，但它就这个意思。
So you all, well, some of you know that my beloved, my darling cat died recently. So yes, of course I was sad.
那我最近我就是养了一辈子的猫死了，当然这肯定是很悲伤的。
And I'm still sad.
那我仍然还是很悲伤。
But instead of walking around saying, I'm so sad my cat died, I'm so sad my cat died, I'm so sad my cat died, I didn't do that. I tried to be happy as much as I could. And then there were times when I just had to be sad. A moment here, 10 minutes over here, 10 minutes there, some tears here, some sad thoughts there. But I didn't let myself be sad all the time. And every day I got a little happier. And now I'm doing really well. But it's a matter of finding a balance. Like, just because you're sad about one thing doesn't mean you have to be sad about your whole life.
Yeah, that's important, I think.
Yeah, because Ricky, you went through that with me and you saw how I was trying to cope with it.
Yes. 那我们在生活当中一定要争取，就是做出努力，要让自己幸福哈。就是有一些的时刻，我们的确很悲哀啊。我让自己说这10分钟也就是有流眼泪的时候，有悲哀的想法的时候，但是呢，每一天我都让自己高兴一点。这个是一个关于平衡的问题啊，一天一天就是高兴的时间就多一些。我们不能说一件事情发生了是值得悲哀的，然后其他的把这种悲哀的情绪渲染到其他的所有的事情上面。
And when I think about my dear cat, whenever, as much as possible, I change the channel. I go into this sad place. I miss her. I loved her. And I switch the channel and I think, I'm so glad she's in a better place now. I'm so glad. I'm thankful that God took her out of her misery. That's called changing. That's what I call changing the channel.
Yeah. 那我就是有的时候是在这个地方悲哀他的离世，但是呢，我又回念说我非常高兴神把他带走了，带到更好的地方。 然后把他的痛苦也拿走了。这个就是改变频道。
You can't always do that, but you can learn to do it more and more.
当然你可能不能每一次都做到，但是你要学习做的更多。
And it's very helpful too, by the way.
这非常有帮助的一个实践的方法。Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, next paragraph. Confusion, being puzzled, even sometimes discouraged and distracted, does not necessarily signify resistance to the leadings of the indwelling adjuster. This is great. Such attitudes may sometimes connote lack of active cooperation with the divine monitor and may therefore somewhat delay spiritual progress, but such intellectual, emotional difficulties do not in the least interfere with the certain survival of the God-knowing soul. Ignorance alone can never prevent survival. I love this.
Yeah.
Neither can confusional doubts nor fearful uncertainty. Only conscious resistance to the adjuster's leading can prevent the survival of the evolving mortal soul. Immortal soul. Yeah, I'll read this last part. You must not regard. Oh no, I won't read that because that goes with this next one. So that's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
Right. 他说这一段真是太美了。
Because it's saying, listen, if you're confused, sometimes you worry, sometimes you get discouraged, sometimes you get distracted. You're confusion. Don't worry, you're still going to get to the Marancha world. God's not going to hold that against you. It's not your fault.
他说我们有的时候感到困惑呀、忧虑啊，或是被分散了精力，被引走了，但是不要担心，我们仍然可以去到在下世界。
The stronger your faith gets, the less confused, the less discouraged, the less distracted you will be. But you're not going to start off. You're still going to sometimes be confused and sometimes distracted and sometimes discouraged. So that's only human. That's like, they don't hold that against you. Just keep what matters is that you're trying to be godlike. You're not expected to be godlike.
对，那就是那我们越信念越坚定，我们就越少沮丧。但是呢，就这些的沮丧、困惑的情绪，那么是非常的人性的。对，因为我们只是在努力变得像神一样的过程当中，这些都不可避免的。
So it says ignorance, the lessons. Ignorance alone can never prevent survival. Neither can confusional doubts or fearful uncertainty. Only conscious resistance to the adjuster's leading can prevent the survival can prevent your survival. Conscious. So these things, when you're confused, and they're in a way a form of unconscious resistance, because you're allowing yourself to be filled with these with animal fear and uncertainty when you have the ability to change the channel and to have less fear and less confusion. It's true, but you're not consciously saying, I want to be confused, I want to be scared, I want to be doubtful. It's all unconscious. You're doing your best, you're just not there yet.
对，那个恐惧啊，你在一种忧虑、混乱当中，有可能没有办法，无力去改变频道，那个这个就还不算最差的，就是你如果有意识的去决定，你就想处在这种状态，这种不确定啊、恐惧啊、混乱、疑惑当中，那才是就是相当于就是有意识的抵抗调整者的引导，就阻止了我们的灵魂的续存。
So it says only conscious resistance to the adjuster's leading will prevent your survival. So what does conscious resistance look like?
那有意识的抵抗是什么样子的？
So what does conscious resistance look like? Conscious resistance is like when you know in your heart that you're supposed to do something and you don't do it. You make a decision not to do it. When you know what's right and you do the wrong thing. That's conscious resistance to your thought adjuster's leading.
对，你就是本来知道应该是怎么样子的，怎么做的，但是你就故意不去做那正确的事情，这个就是一个主动的、有意识的一种抵抗续存。
When you know better.
When you know better, what?
Well, when you do something, but you know better than to do it. You know better, but you do it anyway. That's an American expression is you knew better. You shouldn't have done that. You knew better.
就是说你本来可以做的比这个更好，采取更好的行动，但是你没有去做，就是说你知道更好的路，但是你不做这好的路。
I told you for many years I was on the wrong track.
对，我曾经提过，就是很多年我一直走在错误的路上。
I know that that the life I was leading was not the life my adjuster planned for me before I was born. I know that.
那我知道这个不是神在我出生之前给我命定的路。
And the reason I know that is because I knew better. I came up with all the excuses in my mind. I could convince myself that it was okay, but I knew better.
对，我找各种各样的借口哈，在坚持自己在错误的路上，但是呢，实际上我知道更好的路。
When you have to make excuses for your own behavior, that's when you know better. That's when your behavior is not what it should be.
对，你就找各种各样的借口，走在不对的路上，你就是那个俗语就说的，你知道更好的路。
Okay, so it says here, you must not regard cooperation with your adjuster as a particularly conscious process, for it is not, but your motives and your decisions, your faithful determinations and your supreme desires do constitute real and effective cooperation. You can consciously augment adjuster harmony by, and then it gives a list.
对。
Oh, you already read it. Right.
Yeah,
You already read it.
Yeah, 这是最上面的第3，不是第6段，这个大家可以看这个译文。
So this is interesting because it's like saying we're not supposed to resist our adjuster. We're supposed to cooperate. But if you don't know how, you may not know how to do that, but don't worry, because if your motives are good, if you're making good decisions, if you're determined to be godlike, if your supreme decisions and your supreme desires are to be in harmony with your adjuster and to be godlike, then you're helping, then you are in line with your adjuster. You are helping your adjuster communicate with you and lead you.
对，
Right? You know
就
what I'm
是你
saying?
如果不抵抗呢，你就是说你的动机啊、你的决定啊、你的最高的渴望啊，都是要跟调整者一个方向的就可以了，不是有意识的抵抗就行。
So they're saying you don't have to say, okay, I'm going to cooperate with my, I mean, listen, it's a good thing to say it, but what they're saying is it's not always conscious. Cooperating with your adjuster is not really a conscious thing for the most part, but get on the right path. Get on the American Indians call it the good red road. The good red road. That's the right path. You get on that good red road and then you are cooperating with your adjuster.
就是印第安人有个俗语叫踏上那个红色的路，就是实际上就是踏上正确的路途，就是那相当于你只要踏上正确的路途就可以了。
So they're saying cooperating with the adjuster may not be conscious, but here are the things you can consciously do, which will increase cooperation with your adjuster.
下面这些就是表现，就是方式哈，做法可以有意识的增强调整者的和谐性，就是他能更好的跟你合作，你也更好的跟他合作，也可以通过这以下的方式达成。
Number 1, choosing to respond to divine leading, sincerely basing the human life on the highest consciousness of truth, beauty, and goodness, and then coordinating these qualities of divinity through wisdom, worship, faith, and love. So you're just making a decision, choosing. Whenever you're choosing, you're making a decision. So the first thing is make the decision, decide to cooperate, decide to lead your life in truth, beauty, and goodness. That's
Yeah.
number 1.
第一点就是选择回应神的引导嘛，相当于把生命建基在真善美，对真善美的这个意识和追求上面。对呀，这一段是这个意思，3.7。
And then you will gain wisdom, and you can increasingly you will want to worship. Your faith will become stronger, and you will become an embodiment of love. You will become love. You will love more, and you will be loved more. Your life will be the embodiment of love.
对，然后呢，那通过智慧啊、敬拜神和忠诚来彰显那个爱，活出爱，你就是一个爱的化身。
You see, truth, beauty, goodness, justice, love, they're all the same thing, really.
对，这些真善美啊，这些的都是爱、忠诚啊、崇敬、智慧，其实都是同一回事。
They're like beauty is what love looks like, and goodness is what love acts like.
这个是美呢，就是神，就是爱的样子，然后善呢，就是爱的行动。
And faith is the result of a life filled with love. If you fill your life with love, your faith will become very powerful.
那个信仰就是一个结果，是充满了爱的一个生活的结果。
If you focus on love, you will have a greater desire to worship.
那如果是你就是那个重心放在爱上面，集中的以爱来组合你的生活，你就更能够敬拜神。
If you have the strength, because it requires courage, if you have the strength and courage to live a life guided by love, you will become wise.
如果是你这个有这个力量，有这个信心的话，你就会更明智，更有智慧。
You'll be so much wiser than the person who lets ego and power and envy and revenge and all these other things guide their life. You who lets love guide your life, you'll be so much wiser than these other people who don't let love guide their decisions.
那用那个爱来指导你的生活决定的，那么就会比那些的以个人为中心，或者以权力啊，或者嫉妒他人，或者以报复为这个目的的人，可能来得更明智一些。
Number 2, loving God and desiring to be like him. Genuine recognition of the divine fatherhood and loving worship of the heavenly parent. That's just what we were talking about. Loving God and desiring to be like him, just like a little baby loves his father, loves his mother. Just realize it's innate. You don't have to try. We all love God. We all want to be loved by God. We all want to find God. You just have to realize that.
对，就是我们都是想，其实都本质上都是想要跟神一样。对，我们就是可能有时候没有意识到，我们都想像神一样。
I don't know if we talked about this. I think we did a long time ago, but sometimes you meet atheists, and you know these people, you meet them and they say, I don't believe in God. There is no God. I don't believe in God.
那你会碰到一些人说，我才不信神呢。
And some of my good friends have, your good friends or people that are very close to me have said this to me.
那我一些的朋友他会这么说。
But I look into their hearts and I can see that they really do believe in God. They don't see it, but I see it.
但是我看他们的心，我虽然他们不承认，但是我其实看到他们是信神的。
Or at least I think I see it.
对，至少我这么看的。
So I ask them, I say, do you not believe in God? Or are you just mad at God?
那你是真的是不信神，还是你只是对神不太满意啊？
And sometimes they admit to me that they're really just mad at God.
对，大部分时间他们会向我承认说，的确就是只是对神不大满意。
And one of those same people now believes in God.
那这么承认的人，就是有一些后来其实慢慢的信神了。
So you can help people by asking them sometimes if they're mad at God, because it's easy to be mad at God in this world.
对，你也可以这样去问他们，引导他们。其实这样很，其实，在现在的社会啊、时代啊，很容易对神就不满意。
You know, every time I see a child suffering, I feel a little bit mad at God.
当我每次看到一个孩子在受苦，我就会对神有一些的不满意。
Just a little bit.
就是有一点。Yeah.
Because it's hard not to. You look around at this world and the chaos and the evil, and it's very easy to understand why someone would be mad at God. And then when they're really mad at God, they just say, there couldn't be a God. No God would let this happen. So there is no God. But they're really just furious at God, their Father. They're saying, Father, why did you let this happen?
对，当你面对这个人世上的一些的混乱呢、邪恶的行动，很难不去对神不满意。对，就是说父啊，为什么让这些事情发生？
But the truth is, God didn't let this happen. We let this happen.
这事实是不是神让这些发生，而是我们允许这些发生。
If we want to take credit for becoming godlike, we have to take credit for creating all of this chaos and evil around us too. We can't have it. We can't have it both ways. We either have free will or we don't.
对，那我们如果是我们就是像神哈，就是要得到这样的信用，那么我们就不能否认，我们也参与了创造，因为这个是我们或者我们有自由意志，或者是没有。
But it's much, much, much harder to believe in God and to understand this idea about free will on a planet that's isolated, that had a rebellion, that has no planetary prince, that has no Adam and Eve. That's why we are Agandanters.
那就是很难去相信和理解这一切，就是在一个隔离的星球上面，我们同时又被赋予了自由意志，然后呢，所以造成了这些混乱，所以我们需要这个快乐的坚定不移者。
Number 3, loving man. So number 2 was loving. Number one was choosing to listen to God. Number 2 was loving God and trying to be like him. Number 3 is loving man and sincerely desiring to serve him.
第一条是选择回应神的引导，第二条是热爱神，渴望像他一样，第三条就是热爱我们的人类同胞，渴望为人服务。
So that's that, the simplified version is number 1, you say, it is my will that God's will be done. It is my will, God, to do your will. That's number 1. Number 2 is God is a loving father, is my loving father. I love God. I want to be loved by God. I want to be like God. And number 3 is I love my brothers. Mankind are my brothers, and I want to serve my brothers. That's what Jesus was all about, the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man.
然后第一条相当于另外一种说法，就是我的意志就是服从神的意志，让神的意志实现在我身上。第二条就是热爱父，渴望像他一样。第三条就是热爱我的兄弟，那就是耶稣的祷告也是这样子的，耶稣的行为也是彰显这些的。
So number 3, loving man and sincerely desiring to serve him. This is to me it's not so hard for me to love God. That's not so hard for me. For me, loving man is the hard part.
他说对他来说，这个热爱神是很容易做到的，但是热爱人是好像对他有些困难。
But that's just me.
那都是就是我我
So
的局限。
So it says, loving man and sincerely desiring to serve him, wholehearted recognition of the brotherhood of man, coupled with an intelligent and wise affection for each of your fellow mortals. So, I think it's easy to love some people. They're very lovable, but it's not so easy for me to love the people that are not very lovable.
你看这一段是说真诚的渴望为人服务啊，全心全意的认同人类的兄弟情谊，加上一种对每个人充满至性的喜爱。那就是对那些可爱的人是我很容易爱，但是对其他的人我不太容易爱得起来。
So, but we're supposed to. God wants us to love each other.
但是我应该爱，对，因为神让我们爱每一个人。
So that's something that we all have to learn to do, whether we like it or not.
对，我们都需要学习这方面，不管我们喜欢不喜欢。
There's a wonderful man. You guys might not have ever heard of him. Ricky, do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Jordan Peterson， 那
Oh, you have to look him up on YouTube. He's world famous. He was a professor. He's a social psychologist, and he's an author of many books.
他是问我认不认识 Jordan Peterson， 他说可以在油管上找到，他是一个世界著名的这么一个他是一个教授啊，社会心理学的这么一个教授。
Very, very famous guy, and he's helped thousands and thousands of people.
他帮助了成千的人。
And he knows a lot about people. He, as a psychologist, he knows a lot. He's taught at all the best universities, all this stuff. He knows a lot about people and personality types.
对，他就是比较了解人，各种的人格的形态他都了解，他在很有名的大学教过书。
And he says some people are an agreeable, that's their personality type, to be agreeable. And then some people, their personality type is to be disagreeable.
有的人是比较很随和的，有些人是很不随和的。
And both are equally good. They're equally important. We need both in society because the agreeable people get along with everyone, but the disagreeable people are the ones who stand up for causes and who point out when things are wrong and who are selfish when they should be selfish. So both, one type is not better than the other type. You're one or the other, but neither one is a better type for the world.
对，这两种人实际上对我们的社会都是同等需要的。那么不那么随和的人呢，他们会坚持自己的立场和路线。那么当有事情错误的时候，他们可以因为保护自己的利益而站出来，那就是必要的。对，你是一种或者另外一种，都是没有说哪一种好，哪一种不好。
For example, a disagreeable type is more likely to stand up against something that's wrong, to point out an injustice, to refuse to do something that we shouldn't do, that a bad person is asking you to do. A disagreeable person is more likely to do the right thing. An agreeable person is more likely to just go along and agree because they don't want to make trouble.
Yeah， 那么不那么随和的人呢，他往往就是 对，可以，就是可以指出社会当中的不公平的地方，拒绝去跟权威合作，那么他们更倾向于做正确的事情。可是那些随和的人，他们往往就是那种忍气吞声的，哎呀，这随大溜儿的啊，就做别人都在做的，往往就是一种惰性吧，惰性的力量，在社会当中。
But it's a little harder for disagreeable people to love everyone.
那就是可能对那些不太随和的人来说，很难去热爱每一个人。
And I should know.
他说我应该知道，他就是那种不太随和的，比较有反骨的那种人，绝对不眼里不揉沙子的，这是我的说法。
So
Yeah,
that's something
you
for you.
are, you are the one who is leading the stream in the society.
I'm definitely disagreeable. Yeah.
Disagreeable. 他说他的确实他就是那种不随和那一类的。
Jordan Peterson's very funny also.
他说这 Jordan Peterson 这个教授非常的有趣，讲话很有趣。
He's so famous. There's probably videos translated into Chinese and books because he's so famous.
他那么著名，有可能他有一些的著作啊、演讲，是不是都已经被译成了中文？
So anyway, one of the things that I do to try to help myself to love people more is when I find myself really disliking someone, which is all the time, I remind myself that each one of them has a thought adjuster.
当我很不喜欢某个人的时候，我会提醒自己说，每个人都有他的思想调整者。
And I know that their thought adjuster loves them, and that their thought adjuster is trying to make them listen and be a better person. So why should I make it worse by hating them or disapproving of them or saying bad things about them? Yet that's not helping their thought adjuster. It's not helping them, but it's not so easy for me to stop.
那就是那他们的思想调整者热爱他们的试图使他们听他的指导的。那如果我厌恶他们，跟他们不合，那么实际上也不会帮助太大。
Maybe this week, maybe I'll try to go for a whole week without saying anything mean about anybody.
也许这个下面一个星期我会试图不要说一些对任何人好像那个很批评的话。
Even politicians.
这即使是那些的政治家，很丑陋的政治家。
Very, very hard for me not to dislike politicians.
很难让我不讨厌政治家。
Okay, the fourth one, joyful acceptance of cosmic.
No, fourth one. Are we
Yeah.
done? We are done for the.
No. We just did 1, 2, and 3. 3 was loving your brothers and wanting to serve them.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do 4. Well, you already read it, but I didn't.
Well, no. I'm So are we done? For paper 110, because I pull out the screen share for paper 104.
No.
So
you see, in paper 104, where we are, let me just look. Yeah, we're in 110 still. The last part, we're at the very last part of 110. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 ways you can adjust. You can help your adjuster.
Oh, I thought there were only 3.
Yeah, because I didn't read the 4th.
Oh. Where is it? I don't see 4. The third is, loving man and sincerely desire to serve him. That's the last paragraph of section.
Yeah, it's not in there, but it's in my book.
Really?
Isn't that funny? Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you read it.
Yeah,
then.
that's strange. I guess they made a mistake in the PDF. I wonder if it's in, I'll after the session, I'll look in, I have a PDF in English. I'll see if it's in mine.
Yes, just send me that paragraph. Maybe I can make it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so number 4 is joyful acceptance of cosmic citizenship. You can translate that.
就是很高兴的接受宇宙公民的身份。
Yeah, did you tell them that they're not going to see it? It's missing from the PDF?
对，这个他说有第4条，但是我的这个版本上面没有看到，不知道怎么回事。他说他的版本上面有，他就把第4条，然后现在就给我们读一遍。现在就是第4条第一句话，就是很欢喜的接受宇宙公民的身份。
It's only 2 sentences, so we should be okay. So a joyful acceptance of cosmic citizenship. On it, and then they have a M dash, a dash. Honest so that means honest recognition of your. Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Okay, honest recognition of your progressive obligations to the Supreme Being.
就是诚实的承认、认可这个你对至高神的一个义务，进步的义务。
Awareness of the interdependence of evolutionary man and evolving deity. This is about the Supreme. Aware of the interdependence of man and evolving deity. The Supreme Being is the evolving deity.
对，就是意识到就是那个进化当中的凡人和进化神，也就是至高者神嘛，神之至高者之间的这种互相依赖的关系。
And then the last sentence is, this is the birth of cosmic morality and the dawning realization of universal duty.
duty 诞生宇宙的灵智性，cosmic morality.
Cosmic morality. So instead of, we have a morality here on earth. We believe in, we try to be moral, right? They're saying, they're talking about this relationship with the Supreme, a cosmic morality, a higher type of morality.
就是宇宙道德与正在升起的宇宙义务的诞生。Okay.
I mean, when we read about the Supreme, it'll explain all this. But what they're basically saying is, I mean, it's basically, I would say it's new to this book, to this revelation. This is a new, I don't think they got this anywhere, from anything written on earth. Jesus really talked about the first 3, to do God's will, to love and God and want to be like him, and to then love man, love your brothers and want to serve them. That the Urantia book adds this 4th one, and it has to do with the Supreme Being, and it's having an awareness about your eternal life in the universe, being more than just a person on this planet, realizing that you're a citizen of the universe, and that everything you do, that you're actually, your decisions and your life is affecting the supreme being, just as the supreme being is affecting us, that we're all part of a whole. This is a much bigger concept than just being a person on earth.
对，那就是说这第4点呢，是这个玉书非常独特的一个启示。那么耶稣呢，他在世上他也许只前3点他可能都触及到了，但是这第4点是这本书来说是新的启示，关于至高者神哈。那我们要意识到我们在宇宙当中的永恒的生命，那么我们的决定实际上也都贡献给这个至高者神他的进化，我们都是这个整体的一个部分，并不光单单是在这个地球上一个人。
They're talking about a completely new concept that I don't think you'll find in too many religions. This is very unique to the Urantia book, this 4th one.
这个第4段这个表达的观念是非常的独特的一个点，可能没有其他的灵性书能触及到这一面。
So it says joyful acceptance of cosmic citizenship, joyful acceptance. So not only should you not resist your thought adjuster, but accept the fact that you're a cosmic citizen. This life is just the first, and then it talks about the dawning realization of universal duty. So this is something that we're just beginning to think about, that we're not just obligated to make good decisions here in this life, but forever. That's going to be our duty for all eternity. We're going to have to be like a soldier in God's army. For all eternity, we're going to have obligations and duties, and we're going to have to be happy about that and embrace that.
对，那就是我们要就是欢快的、愉悦的接受我们宇宙公民的这个身份，就是我们有义务就是做好的决定，做神的这个军队当中的士兵，就是拥抱自己的这个义务，宇宙的义务。这个在地球上的生命只是我们的第一个起始的这个生命而已，就是以后我们所有的生命都是这样的，延续这样的一个宇宙的身份。
The Urantia book says every true desire we have that's not based on ego or power or lust or materialism, but the true desires of our heart, everything we truly want to do or want to be that we cannot do in this lifetime, that because of circumstances we can't achieve this, and we can't, maybe we want to play the harp, beautiful instrument, but we're poor and we can't afford a harp, or we're too busy working to feed our family. What they're saying is every true desire you will achieve in the next lives, in the Marancha worlds. You will, the gods, the celestial beings will make sure that you achieve every true desire, not the crazy earthly materialistic stuff, forget that, but the real desires of your heart.
他说每一个真实的、真诚的愿望都会得到实现，不是说那些的属实的关于这个那些的过分的权力的欲望过分的那个物质的欲望而是你真诚的那些的渴望。比如说你很想演奏那个竖琴，但是你可能买不起或者没有时间呢，要喂养家庭你总是会这些的真实的、真诚的渴望，总是会在以后你的人生当中会实现，以后的宅下时间会实现的。
The Urantia book says that in the next worlds, in all the universe, everyone works. Everyone has assignments. Everyone has jobs to do. But you only work half the time. 50% of the time you work, and 50% of the time you relax, or they call it play. But it's like you're on vacation. You do whatever. You have entertainment, you have fun, you go on vacation, but 50% work, 50% play.
对，月然下书说呢，我们在下一个世界，那些的在下世界，我们也工作哈，我们每个人都有要做的工作，但是呢，我们一半时间工作，另外一半时间是休闲的，那么就是玩耍的，像度假一样的，有娱乐的。
But our work will be very rewarding. It's very important. It's going to make we learn from the work we do makes us more accomplished and wiser and more experienced, and we're going to enjoy the work we do.
那所有的工作呢，是非常的有那个感觉，让人感觉是受到奖赏的，那么让你有成就感，让你变得更加的明智，然后你非常的享受做这些工作。
I mean, there are great benefits. Once we leave this planet, there's nothing to ever be afraid of again. There's no monsters, there's no creepy animals in the jungle that might kill us. There's all the animals. There's plenty of animals. The universe is full of animals, but they're tame, they're loving. They don't eat you.
对，它是以后的宰下是有很多的好处哈，那些的星球上都没有那些的统治和控制人的那些的对那些的人啊，也没有那个怪物，也没有那些的吃人的动物了。当然有很多的会有各种各样的很多的动物，但是他们都不是那种食肉的，估计。
But it's another Christian fallacy, false idea, fallacy is that heaven, you go to heaven and you play the violin in the clouds like a happy little angel, and you're just floating around having a good time. That's not that's not what happens.
对，那个基督教也许描画的天堂哈，就是好像就是这个天使飞来飞去的啊，然后有人在奏琴啊，然后实际上那个不是真实的样貌。
We're going to be working, but it's not. Instead of calling it work, we'll call it service. We're going to be serving God, and serving our fellow beings, for all eternity. But we're going to love doing it. And this fourth thing that they tell us to do to help our jester is to accept that we're a citizen of the cosmos. We can be that now. We don't have to wait till we die and go to the Marancha world to be a citizen of the cosmos. We can start right now, but just to know that and to accept it and to be happy about it. That's what's happening. This world is maybe isolated. It is isolated, but it only in one way is it isolated. In other ways, it's very, very much connected to the rest of the universe, and we're a part of the whole universe.
Yeah, that's true. 那么我们实际上还是要工作哈，在那些天堂世界哈，还是要工作，但是我们不叫工作，我们要叫服务，服务于神，服务于我们的同胞。 这第4条呢，就是实际上帮助我们认识到我们的宇宙公民的身份，我们要知道这一点，接受这一点。我们虽然我们的星球一方面是隔离的星球，另外一方面我们也是跟其他的宇宙的部分是紧密相连的。
We are even now, even in this isolated planet, we don't just have our thought adjusters and guardian angels. We have all the help we need. If we have a special talent, like we're a very exceptionally talented scientist or mathematician or choreographer or film director, someone with a gift, then we've already been assigned a thought adjuster who has a matching gift. They also have experience in that same way, and that augments our gift. That we have twice the talent, because we also have a thought adjuster with the same talent, the same experience helping us.
那我们在这个世界上的生活，不光有思想调整者，有我们的护卫天使，我们有这个天赋哈，我们可能是很出色的科学家呀、数学家呀，什么制片人呐，并且我们的思想调整者分配给我们的思想调整者也同样有就是跟我们相配的这些的礼物哈，他们也有这些会这些天赋，他就自带的那些东西成为我们的就加强我们的天赋，就是帮助我们成功啊，帮助我们 happy。
And it doesn't say this in these papers about the thought adjusters. It says this in the paper about the celestial artisans.
Who, where?
I'm trying to tell, in the local universe. I'll tell you where.
他说在那个月染下之书当中也提到神界的义工，神界的艺术工人。
Here, I'll tell you in a minute, because I've been reading it. Okay, I'll tell you in a second.
在地方宇宙内有关的章节吧。艺术家，搞艺术的这些的神界存有。
Hold on. These are the personalities. Oh, I know where it says it.
工匠，艺术工匠。Okay, you don't need to find it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, here's where it talks about Marancha Moda. That in the local system, on paper 46. No, sorry. Paper 48. The Marancha life in section 7 is Marancha Moda. Remember you asking me about Moda?
他就说48篇当中的第7部分哈，48篇大概讲的是宅下的生活，宅下世界的生活。那么第7部分提到这个灵智性的灵魂，灵智性的心识 Marancha Moda， 灵智性的心识。
Okay, paper 44, the celestial artisans.
又是第44篇讲到这个。
And in that section at the very end, it tells us about the how if you have special talents, your thought adjuster will have those same talents to help you. And it gets even better. If you're very gifted in a certain way, they will lend you a higher personality, will actually come and instruct you and help you with your talent, with your skills. You won't know it because they're a spiritual being, but they come and they guide mortals on the planets who have exceptional talent.
哦，对，就是那个你如果有哪一方面天赋呢，就是在那宅下世界会就是有像调整者，就是配备同样的天赋来指导你。那即使在地球上，好像就是你如果有哪方面的天赋，他也会有一些的灵界的指引来帮助你吧，就是上一些的灵性人格来帮助你。Are you done?
Yeah, hold on.
So it means we can get help no matter where in this world or next world to help us accomplish to fulfill our value fulfillment.
Yeah, well, everything will be fulfilled. This is, the last page of the Celestial Artisan says all this, that all our desires will be fulfilled. But then it also explains how if you have special talent, see, it says here, I'll just read it right now. It says, although celestial artisans do not personally work on material planets such as Urantia, they do come from time to time from the headquarters of the system to proffer help to naturally gifted individuals of the mortal races. When thus assigned, these artisans temporarily work under the supervision of the planetary angels of progress. The seraphic hosts cooperate with these artisans in attempting to assist those mortal artists who possess inherent endowments and who also possess adjusters of special and previous experience. Now, I believe that if you have a very pronounced gift, then you would have adjuster of a lot of previous experience, and you know what I mean, that you would be assigned an adjuster with special and previous experience in the same area. But they're calling them, they're saying artist, but that would be the same for scientist or mathematician or teacher, or right, it wouldn't just apply to artist. It would be any special, like it could be athletic, it could be any special gift that will be helpful for your planet, right? And to inspire to inspire other people, to make the planet more beautiful, more, to help raise intelligence. There's all kinds of groups of angels just devoted to helping us evolve on our planet. So yeah, if someone has a special gift, they will get extra help, celestial help.
对，这不光限于艺术啊，那就是科学的，科学家呀、教师啊、那运动员呐、那就是你只要有这方面天赋，可能就是也会得到灵界的这些同样的价值，包括给你就是相应的那个相配的像调整者或者其他的灵界的特别的帮助，那个只要是能够帮助这个星球，就是更能激励人们，使这个星球的生活变得更美好，然后提高这个智性的发展啊，加速我们的进化呀，我们都可以得到灵界的特别的帮助。
And that makes sense, right? Because that makes perfect sense when you think about it, because if you're an average person, you can always find a teacher here who can help you, who's better than you, who can teach you. But if you're really, really exceptionally gifted, you won't find a teacher who can help you because you are more gifted than the teachers. So in that case, they're going to send someone who can help you. You won't see them, but they'll be helping you.
对，如果特别特别优秀，你可能在这个世界上找不到合适的老师来教你，但是呢，灵界他会分配这个合适的老师来教你。
You said all that in that one little
Yep.
sentence?
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. A lot of things in
Yeah.
this book, when you
这
think
个
about
是
it,
很
it's
好
just
很好理
logical.
解的。对，那很好理解的，就是因为很多事情大概都不太符合逻辑的，不太合理的。
So let's just read the first couple paragraphs of the Trinity concept on paper 104.
对，这个就是110篇，大概就读完了，可以再读一点104篇的内容。OK。
We're reading about a little, we're just going to read a little each week about just the first couple pages of paper 104, the growth of the Trinity concept, just so we have an idea of how that evolved, how the Trinity, you know, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Infinite Spirit, which is in Christianity they call it the Trinity. How we ended up with this concept.
对，104篇，就是关于三位一体观念的发展。那么三位一体的神在基督教当中的圣父、圣子、圣灵，这个三位一体是。
Okay.
I think we can only do the forward part of this
What?
paper. Forward.
Yeah, we'll do that part.
Yeah.
Okay, in the paper 104, growth of the Trinity concept.
So I already said the title.
Okay. All right. The Trinity concept of revealed religion must not, okay, just to make it clear, there's two kinds of religion on this planet. There's evolved religion, which evolved from the ghost cults and superstition and fear and dream, all this stuff from the primitive people. And then there's revealed religion, which was Caligastia, Adam and Eve, Melchizedek, Jesus, the Urantia book. These are the revelations given to us from higher beings. So that's what they mean by revealed religion.
就是这个两个概念，一个是 evolved religion，就是进化的宗教，往往是比较原始的这个落后的迷信的然后呢，启示性的宗教呢是从我们人类起源，从那个第一个星球王子卡里加夏呀，从我们人类始祖亚当夏娃，从那个麦基喜德呀，以及从耶稣这条线来的，就是叫启示性的宗教，这两条线要分清楚。
Okay, now I'm going to read. The Trinity concept of revealed religion must not be confused with the triad beliefs of evolutionary religions. The ideas of triads, which is just three of anything is a triad. The idea of triads arose from many suggestive relationships, but chiefly because of the 3 joints of the fingers. Because 3 legs were the fewest which could stabilize a stool, because 3 support points could keep up a tent. Furthermore, primitive man for a long time could not count beyond 3. Oh, that's very funny.
哪个伙伴给读一下这个 Zoom 这边哪个伙伴给读一下这个的
我来
中译
吧。
本？好的。
启示的宗教的三位一体的观念，不能与演化性宗教的三元论信仰相混淆。三元论的概念产生于许多暗示性的关系，但主要是因为手指有3个关节，因为3条腿是能够稳固凳子的最少的腿数，因为3个支撑点可以支撑一个帐篷。此外，原始人在很长一段时间里无法数到3以外的数字。
That's funny. I didn't know that primitive man could not count beyond 3. I never knew that.
他说很有趣，他说他不知道原始人原来是没有办法数到3的。
I mean, I'm sure I read it in this book, but I forgot.
OK。
Aside from certain natural couplets, such as past and present, day and night, hot and cold, and male and female, man generally tends to think in triads: yesterday, today, and tomorrow, sunrise, noon, and sunset, father, mother, and child. 3 cheers are given for the victor. You know, do you have that in China too? Like 3 cheers, hip, hip, hooray, 3 cheers. Do you say that?
No.
Yeah, in English, we say 3 cheers, 3, like when something good happens, we say 3 cheers for you, 3 cheers for them. That's just an expression. The dead are buried on the 3rd day. I didn't know that. And the ghost is placated by 3 ablutions of water. Okay, you can read that one.
除了某些自然对偶之外，如过去和现在，白天和黑夜，炎热和寒冷，男性和女性，人类一般倾向于用3联思考：昨天、今天和明天，日出、正午和日落，父亲、母亲和孩子。胜利者要欢呼3声，死人在第3天下葬，鬼魂通过3浴水得到安抚。Okay.
Okay, so just to be, did you, Ricky, did you translate when I explained that 3 cheers is a Western thing, that we give 3 cheers for the victor?
Yeah, this is whatever appeared in the text. Yes, I think Ron already read that.
Yeah, but if it doesn't make sense in Chinese, if you don't do 3 cheers, then it wouldn't make sense unless you explained it right.
I don't know myself, so I don't know whether it is the custom in China. But
yeah, so just explain in Chinese that it's the custom in the West to give 3 cheers for the winner.
他就说在西方，对谁赢了之后要向那个赢的人要欢呼3声。胜利者不是观众，是胜利者要欢呼3声，表示自己赢了。
And we say hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray. That's 3 cheers.
就是喊这3声表示，哎，我赢了。
So, as a consequence of these natural associations in human experience, the triad made its appearance in religion, and this long before the paradise trinity of deities, or even any of their representatives, had been revealed to mankind. Later on, the Persians, Hindus, Greeks, Egyptians, Babylonians, Romans, and Scandinavians all had triad gods, but these were still not true trinities. Triad deities all had a natural origin and have appeared at one time or another among most of the intelligent peoples of Urantia. Sometimes the concept of an evolutionary triad has become mixed with that of a revealed trinity. In these instances, it is often impossible to distinguish one from the other. You can read.
Yes. 由于人类经验中的这些自然联想，三元论出现在宗教中，而这要比天堂三位一体的神灵，甚至是他们的任何代表出现在人类面前早得多。后来，波斯人、印度人、希腊人、埃及人、巴比伦人、罗马人和斯堪的纳维亚人都有了三一神。但
这
些
地方应该是三元神，我这要改一下，三元神。
好，都有了三元神，但这些仍然不是真正的三位一体。三元神都是其自然起源，并在预然下大多数智慧民族中或多或少的出现过。有时，进化性三元的概念与启示的三位一体的概念混杂在一起。在这种情况下，往往无法将两者区分开来。Okay.
Okay, so Ricky, all they're saying there is that it's natural for human beings to think in triads, triples, because we see all around us examples of three things. But we also think of dualities. We also see examples of two things like night and day, and male and female. But then we also see the three things like nighttime, daytime, and noon. I mean, sunrise, sunset, and noon.
Yeah.
So, okay.
对，这个就是我们就是一般倾向于用二元思考，然后还有用三元性去思考，那就举的这些例子，就是我们思考的一种方式，归纳总结概念的一种方式。对。
Hold on 1 second, okay?
OK。这有点长，这个第一节算了吧，要不然今天就到这儿吧。这《与染下之说》还挺哲学的，就是净讲这些很理性的东西。但是它第四部分又是故事性蛮强的，哲学跟故事结合了。但是这些三元论啊什么的，不然我们把下面读一点吧，读吧。他在那儿大概接电话，有可能。容可以再往下读。
预然下三位一体的概念，大约50万年前，卡里加夏王子的下属首次启示了天堂三位一体的概念。这个最早的三位一体概念，在行星叛乱后的动荡时期被世人遗忘。亚当和夏娃在第一和第二个乐园中第二次提出了三位一体的概念，即使到了约35000万年后的马基文塔麦基喜德时代，这些教义也没有完全消失。 因为赛特人的三位一体概念在美索不达米亚和埃及都持续存在，尤其是在印度，它在佛陀三头活神阿格尼身上得到了长期延续。马基文塔麦基喜德第3次提出了三位一体的概念。萨冷圣人胸前佩戴的3个同心圆象征了这一学说，但马基文塔发现，像巴基斯坦贝都因人传授有关万有之父、永恒之子和无限之灵的知识非常困难。他的大多数弟子都认为，三位一体是由诺拉提亚德克的3位至高神组成的。少数人认为三位一体是指系统主神、星座之父和本地宇宙的造物主神。更少的人甚至完全不理解圣父、圣子和圣灵在天堂中的关系。通过萨伦传教士的活动，三位一体的麦基喜德教义逐渐传遍了欧亚大陆和非洲北部的大部分地区。在后来的安东时代和后麦基喜德时代，三元论和三位一体往往很难区分，因为这2种概念在一定程度上是交织在一起的。在印度教中，三位一体的概念以存在、智性和喜悦为根基。后来印度人的概念是梵天、湿婆和比湿奴。早期的三位一体形象是由赛特人祭司带到印度的。后来的三位一体观念则是由萨冷传教士传入的，并由印度本土知识分子通过将这些学说与演变的三元概念相结合而发展起来的。佛教信仰发展了2种三位一体的学说，前者是到哪去了？前者是施法僧，这是乔达摩悉达多提出的。后来的思想在佛陀的北方信徒中发展起来，包括至高无上的主、圣灵和道成肉身的救世主。印度教，
你等一下，我问问Heidi回来了没有？Heidi, are you back?
Hi, I'm back.
Okay. Well, so are we done with reading and more have people raise questions? Or,
Yeah.
Because we don't have much time left.
Yeah, no, I think that's plenty for today.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's too abstract, the concept. We don't want the people to keep burden their mind on those Trinity concepts. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So 今天我们就读到这儿，然后大家有什么问题就今天读的东西，然后可以问一下海蒂，我们就可以到时候争取早一点結束。
I just want to say, Ricky, what the last part, what they're saying is that people naturally think in terms of 3, and the religions that evolved on Earth often included a triad, which is three things to worship, and then the revealed religions that came from the Urantia book religion that came from the planetary prince and Adam and Eve and Melchizedek and Jesus talked about the Trinity. And what it's saying is that at some point, the evolved religions incorporated the revealed religions. They got combined. So sometimes we can't even tell whether what these religions have when they have 3. We don't even know anymore if they came from the triad or the trinity because they got kind of mixed together. That's what it's saying.
就是进化性的宗教啊，还有启示性的宗教哈，他们都有这个三，不管三位一体还是三元论，这两种有的时候是结合起来了，在人看有时候很难去区分它们。
But whenever it's, God the Father, God the Son, and the Infinite Spirit, that's always the Trinity. If it's three random gods, it's the triad. But what would happen is these evolved religions with three random, they would get mixed up with the revealed religions. So they might make a trinity of, that's not the real Trinity, right? They get all confused. They get mixed up together.
三位一体就是指的圣父、圣子、圣灵这三位一体哈，但是是属着进化性的宗教呢，他们就把三个神、三个位格的神，连在一起，就是一种模仿性的，对。
Yeah. So that's that. So we'll learn a little bit more next time.
对，下一次我们就会更深入了解这个概念的起源，这两种的比较。Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions?
那有伙伴有问题吗？关于今天读的内容，还有前面的内容都可以。哪一个地方比较不太有疑问的，或者想进一步让那个海蒂澄清一下的？第三部分，关于跟调整者的合作，发表感想啊，什么都可以。No, nobody. Okay, so we have 17 people. But some already logged off. Heidi.
I'm here. I think people are probably going to sleep now.
Yeah, it's 10:30. Almost 30. Yeah. So we want to control it to be 3 hours, within 3 hours. I think we're in good timing.
Yeah.
To end it up. Yeah, it's very good content. Very good content today.
Oh, I'm glad you
Every
liked
time
it.
I learn a lot. I'm the one who benefits the most from your teaching.
Well, I'm learning too, because we're studying the book, and every time you read it, you learn new things that you didn't pick up last time, or you learn things that you may have learned way, a long time ago and forgot.
Yeah. 我就说我是那个最受益的一个，他说他也是，他每次读都会捡起一些以前没有读到的内容，得到一些新的启发，或者以前领悟到但又忘了，然后再读的时候又会再回忆起来。Yeah, true.
对，琪琪，我有一个问题问海蒂。
Okay.
就是凡人怎么跟那个调整者合作的4点，它是不是进阶性的，就是从1到4一步一步的上升的这样一个次序啊
？Yeah, Cindy's question is regarding how the mortal being cooperate with the thought adjuster, according the four methods or avenues to augment gesture harmony. Is that from 1 to 4? Is that step-by-step augmentation, or is there any? Did you get?
Well, I think what they're trying to say there is that you don't have to. If you don't, of course, you want to consciously be, accept the leading of your thought adjuster. But how do you do that? Well, they're saying one way to do that is to just lead your life in a certain way. And these 4 things, if you lead your life with these 4 things, your thought adjuster will be able to communicate with you and lead you.
他这4条就是说，如果你过你的生活是这四种样貌，那么他就是给思想调整者来指导你的一个途径，一个可能。
因为我也觉得前2条容易一些，后面2条更难。
She also feel that it's easier to follow the first 2, but not the last 2.
Well, the last one is kind of strange because it's a new concept for us here. But I think if you just think of, if you believe in the Marancha worlds and you believe in eternity and you believe that you're going to be serving in the universes for all eternity, I think that's pretty much an awareness that you're a cosmic citizen. I think that's good enough for the 4th one.
对，它就是第4点，这是一个新的概念，好像放在这里有一点奇怪，但是只要你相信有那个灵智在下世界，你相信永恒性，那么实际上你相信这个宇宙公民的身份，应该这就是足够了。
And as far as loving, the 3rd one is the hardest one for sure. I mean, for, if you're a believer, I mean, for atheists or people that are filled with doubt, the first one's pretty hard because, if you sincerely want to do God's will, then the first one's easy. But it took me a long time to really sincerely want to do God's will. It doesn't come that easily to everyone to have that sincere desire. You can believe in God, but that's different than really sincerely wanting to do God's will, because our egos want to do our own will. We don't want to do anyone else's will.
他说实际上第1条是挺难做到的，就是把你的意志服从于神的意志，就是那个是需要非常的忠诚的这个渴望，真实的渴望啊。你这个信神好像是容易的，但是你的自我挡在那儿，自我是想执行他的意志的，所以实际上第1条还是不是那么容易做到的。
So if you already sincerely desire to do God's will and you can make that commitment, then that's incredibly helpful with everything else.
对，那就是真诚的渴望啊，那个是回应神的引导，就是非常重要，对其他的都是非常最重要的。
You're opening the door and inviting God into your life. You're inviting your thought adjuster to guide you just by step number 1.
对，你就是开放心灵，就是相当于把神邀请进来，这样就是给实现其他的那个神的那个计划，其他的可能性。
And then number 2, to love God and want to be like him and want to be perfect and want to be God-like. That's a desire, I think, that we all have. Most of us actually have, but don't realize it. But we have to consciously think about that. It still requires work, to try to be God-like. It's not just wanting it is not just enough. We have to keep trying to be better.
对，那就是第2条，有意识的要像神一样哈，渴望像神一样，不是说光想一想，而是要行动啊，各个方面要就是付出我们的努力，要像他一样。
And then the 3, I agree. I think for, for me, 3 is the hard one, but we can start by just loving the people we love a little more, criticizing them less, thinking of their good qualities, really appreciating the people we already love. That's a good start.
第3条是对我来说是比较难，但是呢，我们可以就是对我爱我们的人能够爱的更多一点，认识到他们的好的品质。Yes.
And learning to love strangers, to walk down the street and feel the goodness of other people, to smile at strangers, to help someone, if they drop their package on the street, to learn to just be more loving towards people in general. And when you're driving, instead of hating all the bad drivers, love all the good drivers.
对，那个就是热爱那个对陌生人有爱，然后呢，比如说对那些给你那个递包裹的人你就是能够看到他们里边的美善，就是培养一种很那个的普遍的一种爱心在路上开车，不是说去讨厌那些不好的司机，而是喜欢那所有的好司机。
And, just little things like always say please and thank you and compliment people, have a kind word for people. Oh, one thing, when you have a kind thought in your head about someone, say it out loud. Let them know you're having that kind thought about them. These are all ways to just love your fellow man more.
对，常说请谢谢你然后说赞美人的话呀。如果你头脑里有就是对某个人有非常善的念头，要说出来，表达出来。
And just, I mean, this is the hardest one for me, but just stop thinking about negative experiences you had with people, negative things people did with you, to you. Just don't even think about them. Just put them out of your mind. I recently didn't get hired for a job because at the end of the interview, I just mentioned a bad experience I had at another job, and it scared the guy, the boss, because I was basically saying something bad about another boss I had, and he didn't hire me. It was a stupid thing for me to do.
Yeah, that's true. 对，就是对他来说很大的教训，就是不要说那个那些的负面的事情，然后也不要想别人对你做的负面的事情，把那些的想法就是抛到头脑之外。不要对人提及你的很坏。他就在最近的一次工作面试当中丢了一份工作，因为他在面试最后提到他跟前面的老板的一个很差的经历，结果就是把那些的面试的那些的人就吓坏了。其实我是非常愚蠢的这么做。
And I really, really wanted the job, and I loved this guy, and he was going to hire me. I know, because they told me, until I said that comment. And I said it because I thought it would show how much I would appreciate a good boss, because I've had some bad bosses, but it did just the opposite.
对，我知道我很喜欢这个工作，也喜欢跟他们对这个公司因为那个人就是面试的人是这么告诉我的，一直到听到这样的不好的对前面老板的评论，相当于我本来是想表达我对这份工作的珍视，然后也尊重好的老板，可是实际上效果截然相反。
So I understand. I don't blame him for not hiring me. it scared him. He thought I was a negative person.
我也不责怪他们最终没有雇佣我，因为就是对我是这样一个很负面的人。
In fact, that just happened a few minutes ago.
实际上这个是几分钟以前刚发生的事。
That was the phone call I just got. That interview was last night.
对，那个昨天晚上就是是那个工作面试，刚才接电话，大概就是他们告诉他不雇佣他。
I'm so disappointed. I'm so
I'm
disappointed.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know, it's horrible. I'm so upset. I'm so mad at myself. I should know better. We talk about knowing better, when you know better. As soon as I did it, when I hung up, I realized it was a mistake. As soon as I hung up, I thought, what did I say that for?
对，其实就面试完了，把电话一挂，我就知道我犯了错误，就是为什么要这样？对，很让人失望，但是他也不责怪他们，他也知道这个自己罪有应得，大概。
Horrible. Really big mistake. That was a really big mistake.
很重大的错误。Yeah, it's inevitable. We make mistake from time to time. Maybe this job is just not for you, so you can't help saying those words. Just
yeah, I don't think so. This was a really high-paying job with one of the best bosses. I don't even want to think about how big a mistake that was. That was just. But the only thing I can say that's positive is that it was a lesson I had to learn the hard way.
Yes. 他说这个工作非常配得很好，然后老板也很好，但是他就是很为自己的错误感到懊恼，但是呢，从正面方面来讲，他也因此学到了教训，一个很好的教训。Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was a big fat lesson not to say negative things about people.
他说是一个很肥的一个经验，就是很大的一个经验教训，就是不要说别人的坏话。
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're all learning as we go.
我们都是在一边走一边学习的。Thank you for for your honesty, your kindness and candid to tell us your life lessons. We always appreciate, your truthfulness, sincerity. We
Well,
learn
that's
learn a lot.
Yeah, I actually think that it's easier to learn from real life stories, that than from just hypotheticals.
对，我跟他说我很欣赏，感谢他的诚实，告诉我们他的真实的生活的教训。然后呢，海蒂就说我们都是从真实的生活当中学到的经验教训，比那些假设的生活场景学到的要多。Yeah,
maybe Ricky, maybe my big mistake can help prevent some of you from making the same mistake.
他说也许会阻止这样的分享，会阻止你们会犯跟我同样的错误。Yeah, I'm in the same shoe with you. I'm also a very critical person. I think it's kind of that, but I'm learning. Well, before I was a very disagreeable person, but in recent years I become kind of rebellious and I stand up for myself. So I become a little bit critical. With time being, we are going to incorporating both ends, to be more flexible in personality.
Well, I think it's good to stand up for what is right and to be courageous, but you also have to work on teams and get along with your team members, and you can't let your ego get in the way. There's a difference between those two.
对，我跟他说，我以前也是非常的随和的、随大溜的，不想表达反对意见，但是近些年有一些就是反叛，有一些就是要敢于说出自己的意见。他进一步就说，那就是说有正义感的哈，反对这个邪恶是对的，但是在一个一个小组哈，进行一个项目的小组当中，还是要少一点的小我哈，这样的话大家能够合作的更愉快。Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hedy.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Oh, love you. I love all you guys. Whether you're awake or asleep, I still love you.
他说不管你醒着还是睡着，我都热爱你们每一个人。Thank you, Heidi.
Okay, so
find
I
words.
guess, yeah, so we'll all see you all next week.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, talk to you next week. Have a good week,
Okay.
everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, Heidi. Thanks,
Oh,
Vicky.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
谢谢琪琪。
谢谢大家，还坚持这么晚哈。今天很多伙伴还都醒着，不错不错。不过这是对我们争取都是10点半以前或者稍微晚一点，不要超过11点。好的，你们赶紧洗洗睡去吧。我就听了。
晚安。
晚安。